Taking on a new technology can be a scary proposition, but if the value is really there, then you want to make sure that you support your team in having a say in the technology and helping them to adopt and train on top of it to make sure you get the maximum value. And a lot of times with technology implementation, things often go wrong, not because the technology doesn't do what's needed, but because the implementation isn't managed in the right way and the team isn't brought together to help to understand not only the value, but how you can actually execute across the product. So what we recommend is that you start when you're not time crunched. And I know that that seems like it's completely impossible and never happens, but it does. You have to think proactively. Can you get started now before the event happens, if it's a couple months away, to figure out what tools or processes really would help benefit you next year so that you can put a time frame in place of starting those early on in the process. My recommendation typically is to allow people 30 to 45 days of training and onboarding and examples that helps them to have a sandbox to play around in, to understand how it relates to their role, to ensure that they have time to think through and adopt things so they're not just forced into a new tool immediately and then they're in charge of ensuring that everyone else is using it correctly. So ways of doing that would be partnering with your technology vendor, asking them for an implementation training. And in that training, starting with your why. Why did we select this technology? What is the value that's going to come out of it? How are you going to measure that value? And then starting with what the project plan is to implement the technology. And that's where your technology vendor can come in to help. And your technology vendor can lay out a very simple plan that says, in the first 3 months, this is what we'll plan on doing. Second 3 months, this is what we plan on doing. And then putting together a training schedule for people that helps them to understand the end-to-end solution. And I always like to think that you don't want to overwhelm people with too much information. So thinking about how can you train them and give them the information that they need for the next step of the process. So give them an overview, but then have ongoing training and ongoing support that helps them to continue to feel comfortable and confident in the work that they're doing. A lot of technology success is in how we as a meeting manager or meeting director can help onboard the others to utilize the tool in the best way, save them time, and bring more value and information to the organization.